Today we're going to talk about melting down an organization, rebuilding an organization, and we're going to do it by using targeted and strategic ignorance as a tool. Not just because we don't know anything, but because we're going to use not knowing something or declaring when we don't know something or we don't know why it needs to be done as a way to simplify a problem, to force, it's sort of like when people do budgets, right? It's like, you need to defend your budget. Well, I spent this much last year and inflation is this, so it's going to be that this year. Okay, well, because it costs this much to run this, right? And whereas the reality is the other way to come around and go, I feel like, I don't understand why this is that expensive. These other guys do it for 100 grand. It's not 5 million, it's 100 grand. So tell me why you need more than 5 million. I think we only need 100 grand, right? And so I know ours is more complicated, right? Or I know this system is more complicated, but we're going to take the tack that as far as I'm concerned, I don't want to know the complexity of this in the beginning. I came from somewhere else, and you're going to have to describe why that complexity is required. There's two primary approaches, even though I put 3 sets of punctuation on here. One of them is inquisitive or, interrogative. Hey, we're going to do blah. And everybody's like, well, that's really expensive. It's hard to do. It's complex. It's like this. And it's me like, I don't understand. Tell me why it's that. As far as you can't convince me it's not that complicated. We need to do this kind of whatever. Why do we need to do that? As far as I'm concerned, if you can't justify it, we're just going to drop it. We're going to drop everything you tell me until we come to a solution. The other one is kind of what I can't come up with a word for it, but it's driven deliberate intelligence. And that's the notion that I'm going to start staking out a position, right? I'm going to stake out a position, and then you have to convince me that position is wrong. And if you can't convince me, we're going to go down that path. And it's probably wrong or it's off. And we're just going to add a bunch of stuff to it as we get to it. But we're going to start from the simple position, right? So really what it comes down to is, if I bake in all the only way I can change an organization is to change the scope, change the way it's doing something, change how it understands the problem. And the only way to do that is to think differently. And so we can use deliberate ignorance as a tool to make that happen. Either kind of this quasi-passive version or the active version. There's, as I said in another talk, there's desperate and blind ignorance. We're going to ignore those for today and just settle on, hey, is this an approach somebody's taking, right? And we're assuming that these people are smart, right? That you're smart, that the other people are smart, and that they're not in the blind or desperate ignorance category, that they're using this tool to shake out what actually needs to be done. That's all I got for today. Have a great day.